My name is Juanita Archuleta, and I work on the NinjaTrader business development team. We do have a very special event for you today with Julie Wade of J Auto Trading Strategies. It is important to mention that there are substantial risks in trading commodity futures contracts in Forex. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and will depend on your specific circumstance and financial resources. It is possible to lose all funds deposited with your broker and could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at the following link for more information or for a full copy of the CFTC risk disclosure. Also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation nor a recommendation, but simply educational in nature. This presentation is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed directly to our brokerage team. I'm going to go ahead and place their email address as well as their phone number in the room for those of you who may be interested in opening an account or have questions for our brokerage team. We are very excited for this unique event in which Julie will share her standardized trading methodology with the J Auto Trading Strategies Lines indicator for NinjaTrader 8. Thank you again for your attendance today, and without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room. Go ahead and take it away, Julie. Thank you.
Hey guys, Merry Christmas. Welcome. What a day today, right? Markets ripping 100-point moves in 15 minutes, up and down. Quite excitement. I don't know if you've noticed, but billions of dollars of the normal investor and institutional order flow has been flowing out of the equity markets. Most of that's been sidelined in cash or in treasuries, just waiting to come back in. So don't blame the algos for all the volatility that we've been seeing lately. Those algos are just doing their job. So how do we take advantage of days like this, or just keep from getting ourselves crushed? Well, that's what I've been learning this past year, is how to trade volatility levels. And you really do have to get in and out and be nimble. Trading volatility is not trend trading. You have to pick your spots and, like I said, get in and get out. So thank you so much for your attendance today and for your interest in J Auto Trading Strategies. Hang out with me for the next 30 minutes or so, and I'll showcase this new JATSLRTLines indicator for NinjaTrader 8 and show you how we've incorporated this indicator into our trading process and how we use it to find the sweet spots and volatility levels to trade to. I don't want to blow your minds, but on this daily chart, for those who are going to join me tomorrow in the trade room, you'll see that this daily volatility level right here that was leading to 6,200, well, that's now down to 6,000 on the daily chart. These levels are dynamic and adjust to the volatility. I just took this screenshot, I think last week or early Monday this week, and that's how fast these levels change. They are dynamic, which makes them great to trade. But as you can see here on the daily, these wicks are all hitting this level, and that is now down to 6,000. So we'll just have to keep our eye out for that. You know, trading is all about the process. I've spent the last few years developing and refining a process using Bloodhound that uses higher time frame trend, momentum, and linear regression. But this past year in particular, I realized that I needed to include volatility levels into the process in order to capture price action and also have some target levels to trade to. With this new JATSLRTLines indicator, my trading process is complete, and I'm so happy that I can share it with you today. Today's session, we're going to split it into two parts. The first part is an introduction of this new indicator and our trading process. Then we can deep dive into the particular features of the indicator in greater detail in the second part. There's going to be a lot of screenshots to go through, so please hold your questions until the end. And I would appreciate that. Here is a 60-minute chart, and just to give you an introduction as to what you're looking at, what we're seeing, the indicator is built from several linear regression indicators and modified Keltner channels. The regression indicators dynamically balance the trend on the charts, whether they are weekly, daily, 60, 15-minute, or tick charts. And this thick middle line that goes from red to white to red, that's your main linear regression trend line, that linear regression 1. There is a second linear regression line, a faster line, and that goes in and out of the 1, and that provides me with the direction of current price slope. So if you like to trade the slope and know to go with the candles trading the slope, this is the line that you want to trade, especially when it's going in conjunction with the main linear regression trend line. The channels provide several ATR offsets that you can customize to either capture price action or set up levels for entries or exits. For instance, you see that price has been responding very well to these levels, often coming back for a touch at the same level. This is a 60-minute chart. The fast channel is around the fast linear regression line, and the slow channel lines are around the main linear regression line. So the slow channel lines provide us volatility levels to trade to, and the fast channel really provides that encapsulation of what we're normally used to seeing with the Keltner channel, capturing that big, 95% of the price action. So when we see price escaping the outside of those fast channels, up or down, you can tell that price is running. And that's maybe when you want to pay attention, jump in a trade and grab something to a volatility level. And we'll go into more detail, like I said, in the second part of this presentation, going over these concepts and how to trade this indicator. The plots are exposed so you can access these levels when coding the indicator with your trading strategy. And no worries if you don't code, the plots are exposed for inputting into Bloodhound, so you can access them without having to code. Like I said, the components of the indicator are linear regression indicators, and which are the main drivers for directional trading opportunities. And the ATR settings are customizable on both levels. So now that you've looked at the higher time frame trends, let's drill down to some tick charts and lower time frame volatility settings for trading in and out of these moves. So this is the same indicator. I just do not have certain things printing on the charts with it. And I'm just showing the slow volatility levels to give me some levels to trade from. And this is on a tick chart. It's, representative of how we will often trade during a trading session, and that is waiting for a retracement. And once you hit a certain volatility level, you'll ask, the algo to go ahead and print a signal at that time so that a trade can be entered into, buy low, sell high. This particular chart was optimized, and I want to go into my trading strategy just for a moment here The NinjaTrader Market Analyzer on the top is on all of my charts, and is the driving force behind how I trade. I've got it set up with these customized Bloodhound templates, which is not part of this indicator. It's separate, but I do offer Bloodhound templates also, in addition to the indicator. Right here, I've got the higher time frame trend on the right-hand side of the chart, and on the very far left, I have bearish, which is an amalgamation of that on the right. So there's a little different algorithm there. And then I have 3 different momentum algorithms on 3-minute, 15-minute, and 60-minute chart, and then linear regression algorithms on a 3-minute, 15, 60-minute chart. I've got an algorithm showing me the range, and my definition of range is when it's running, moving away from a 15-minute chart, up or down, and we'll see that a little bit later, of whether we're above or below the prior close, whether we're above or below the prior low. And I always want to see where I'm standing net change as a dollar amount and a percentage in the market. And then on the second market analyzer, I show various levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, upper and lower, away from the linear regression 1 that I can trade to on a time frame I can customize. What's on the chart here is a 5-minute level. So as we can see, price kept going to the lower one and upper one on this tick chart. And if you wanted to see what that was on a 5-minute chart, to get your level balanced with what this tick chart level was and decide whether to take a trade-off, that may have been a good time to take a trade-off because of the way the prior price action was hitting that level and responding to it. And we can see that on the next screenshot, where you can conversely exit your trade by using these levels on the bottom side. So basically the same level just flipped over. And I actually went to the bottom 2 levels. So with this indicator, I can trade directionally or just trade volatility levels, however I want to do it. So there is some, directional trading. I don't want to necessarily call it trend trading, but I'm definitely looking to go from volatility level to volatility level versus like walking a trend down off of a super trend band. Let's take a look at the next screenshots. This is the high-low 1 template. Again, these Bloodhound templates are separate from the indicator, but shows you how easily you can incorporate a trading signal. Each one of these bars actually can be an executable trade in NinjaTrader platform, and how you set your volatility bars up to capture the trend or the direction of the move. I do that with the market analyzer and ATR, and we can show you how that is done in the trade room. So that helps tremendously, setting up the moves to make the most out of these great runs that we've been having up or down. And here is the same screenshot, but just showing, instead of it being all red, just selectively taking trades on these volatility levels, and how you could do that, and then use another volatility level above it, for instance, as your exit. So you can use them for entries and exits, profits and stops. Multiple ATRs that are customizable according to the ATR that is exhibited in the market. And this is very dynamic. And this is why this has been really working for me, because we can make the bar fit the volatility. And here is a screenshot of how a Unirinco bar upside down can look, using one tick at a time, and how it can come back to your volatility levels, and you can elect to take a trade at a specific level automatically or just discretionarily, and understand when the trade may be ending because it's broken through a level you have identified that you don't, if once it breaks that level, it might be making a further reversion to the mean or deeper retracement. So please send me an email and join our open house tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and sign up so I can get you on our open house list, and we can see these indicators live in the market. And I think you'll get a lot more appreciation for it tomorrow as we go forward. And I'll be glad to send that email list invite to you. I want to go over a couple of disclaimers first before we go into the next portion of the session, and that is looking at the indicators in more specific detail. This session today is for educational purposes and not a solicitation or recommendation that you buy or sell any financial instrument. Another reminder is that there is a risk of loss in trading and investing. You should accept the fact that losses can and will occur in trading, so only trade with risk capital. Past performance does not indicate future success in trading, and it is important to remind you also that all examples shown today should be considered hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, and the charts shown are for illustration and training purposes. So let me talk a little bit. This kind of got blacked out here for some reason. The screenshot looks like it did not come through. I'm going to give you a brief overview of our vendor history. JATS is now going into its 4th year as a NinjaTrader vendor. I'm very happy about that. Our goal is to help traders adhere to a trading process by providing indicators, trading templates, and an educational trade room. You have just seen in the introduction to our trading process and indicators that what you may not know is the indicators and templates have been migrated over to the NT8 platform. And we are very pleased about that. So new product orders going forward will only be released in the NT8 platform. I could not be happier with this transition. And starting in January 2019, 2 strategies using the JATSLRTLines indicator will be used in a walk-forward test in the trade room, a directional trading strategy and a reversion to the mean strategy. Markets traded will be the NQ and crude. So I'm looking forward to this further testing and refinement period for these 2 trading strategies, and look forward to that getting started next year. Again, my apologies for that slide. Didn't realize that the conversion didn't make it when we transferred the PowerPoint. So here we are. The link to the room tomorrow will be our email address, and I'll get that for you if you didn't catch it. We'll give that to you again at the end of the session. It is our email address. Just send us an email, and I'll type that in the box. There you go. Just send us an email there, and you will be added to that open house list. Here is the first feature detail of the JATSLRTLines indicator. This screenshot of a chart with the indicator properties panel. You can see everything is zeroed out. The LinReg 1, 2, 3, 4, all the channels, everything is 0, 0, 0, 0, and there's nothing printing on the chart. So it is totally customizable. That's what makes this so great. You can customize it for the current volatility coming into the market. So here we start out with the first setting selected, LinReg 1. LinReg 1 is the mothership, as I have been fondly calling it. Price will always revert back to the main trend line, up and down. So that is your main anchor. If you get lost in trading and want to figure out where price is likely to go, within a matter of a short period of time, it's most likely going to go right back to that line. It's LinReg 1. The second indicator is the feature is of LinReg 4. And this is the faster trend line. I don't have 2 and 3 depressed. I mainly use 1 and 4 on my charts. And 4 is the slope that I really do want to concentrate trading, especially on those higher time frame charts. This is a 30-minute chart when it matches my momentum. So my slope of this LinReg 4 momentum, or something that I really pay attention to on those higher time frames. Here is a screenshot of a 30-minute chart with the indicator properties panel showing that all 1, 2, 3, 4 LinReg plus the fill LinReg is depressed. We don't have any ATR showing yet, just the main indicator. I don't usually put the 2 and 3 on my normal charts, just the 1 and 4. But I wanted to show you what it does look like. If you make a fist, that is when these levels start crossing each other and pulling back to the mean. And when you open your fist and you spread your fingers apart, that's when they all start spreading apart and price starts flowing like water. Okay? In case you aren't familiar with linear regression, it is a leading indicator like momentum. It, unlike a moving average, which takes time for the average to catch up with price, linear regression just goes from point A to point B, and boom, you're there. So that's the reason I use this instead of moving averages on my chart, but a lot of it is the same concept. Here you can see everything bunched up together and price sitting on those main trend lines, but once it breaks out of the 4-1, your line starts fanning out and spreading out, and that gives you your sweetheart setup that's running outside that 4. That's one of your sweetheart setups that we'll be talking about today. And here I've got my first fast channel. And got the LinReg 1, 4. I've got the fill showing the cloud. And you can color these any color you would like. Now I have a fast channel. The fast channel, again, is used more like a standard Keltner channel, where price action is going to be enveloped 90-95% of the time, thereabouts. And if it escapes the area, that may signal you in for that retracement back to the LINREG level as it walks up to that main LINREG 1. So this is a classic consolidation reversion to the mean trade after an extended sell-off. So here you had a nice sell-off and a reversion to the mean back to the 1 and walking the band on this fast channel. And again, you can set these up. I've got it on a 2 offset multiplier. 1.5 or 2 work pretty well. 2.5 occasionally for wider volatility. Here on this next slide is the both the offset multiplier 1 on the slow linear regression as well as the fast channel. This is on a 1-minute chart, so it's a little bit compressed and hard to see, but we'll be seeing plenty of examples of this on larger time frames. But it's the same concept for all time frames. We were in a strong downtrend. We got a little bit over our skis here above this first, or this level, upper level. And then that reversal was your signal, really, that this was going to start coming back in a trend direction. And the confirmation of that is when it broke that lower line and started running. So you know that that was truly a runner. Once it goes back inside your cloud and comes up that LINREG 4 that's sloping up, you know that that reversion to the mean is in place and that move is over. Here we've got the 1-minute chart showing LINREG 1.4, the fill, the cloud showing, so that you can see more of a flat bands showing a hammer on the chart and showing that reversion to the mean back to the 1.4. And then the crossover, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, will signify that change in trend. And you can see how nicely that this, adhered to these levels. Have your crossover signal, came up to the volatility level. This one went straight up without really reverting back. The 4 was right there. Usually if it reverts back, it's going to come back to the 4. But the 4 was right there, so this reversion did come back to the 4. Turned around, went up to the next level, and then just walked up. And you will notice tomorrow in the room on these charts that these levels pretty much also encapsulate 95% of the trade across these levels. So you can trade off of these reversal signals at these levels pretty routinely for these reversion to the mean trades. That's one of the algos that I'll be running next year, our reversion to the means off of these upper and lower volatility levels. Okay, this next chart, LINREG 1.4 fill, slow channel, showing you that, and this was squished up. I hated doing this, but I wanted you to really get to see everything on here. It shows the trending state with the same volatility levels getting hit over and over and over. And why this is important is this is a 60-minute chart. And traders love hitting those 60-minute levels when they hit horizontally. But when they hit the volatility level, it may not be a complete horizontal move and they don't know why price changed. And it's because hitting a volatility level. So these volatility levels get hit over and over and over. So I always am looking way, way, way back to see forward where that, came in, because it's likely to be that same place where it reacts in the future, and it's a great place to snag a trade from. Here is that better screenshot for you of the crossover. And this screenshot shows the sweet spot out of the LR4 very, very clearly. And it also shows the consolidation as price returns inside the cloud. And also that reversal as the cloud changes from a down cloud to a white cloud. So a lot of the times people will be trying to hit these upper levels to rejoin this move, but when you see that price is bouncing off of the lower LR1 like it is, bouncing back up, then that move is probably over, and it's just going to end up trading flat for the remainder of the session until that next trading session starts. Here's the same screenshot with a fast channel on it, and again, just showing you, here's a 2.5 offset, showing you how much the volatility levels will adhere up and down to the fast channel locations. So you don't always have to have the slow channel properties. You really should be paying attention to these fast channels also. And here's the same screenshot with a slow channel. And again, make sure to note when you leave the upper or lower of that first offset multiplier, because that can signal a strong outside move, the sweet spot move. Here's your other sweet spot where that cross consolidation occurred, and it came back, tagged that low line, and then reversed back up. So there's several ways to trade these sweet spots by recognizing where you are on these bands and lines, and how to trade them. Just recognizing where the offset multipliers are, especially these standard ones, anything between 1.5 and 2.5 or 3, 5, the implied volatility levels, 2.5, 5. So they can have you going forever looking at these levels. Here's a great example of a higher time frame. This is on that February move that shook the market when Powell first came into office. And sweet spot trades above and below an offset multiplier too, but forever. So when trades go outside an offset multiplier on a higher time frame, this is like the gigantic sweet spot, up or down. So when you can get this on a daily chart, that's where you really want to be focusing on trading, just like on the Keltner channel. So when it escapes outside that area, this is why I love a 15-minute chart so much. You can really get into a day trade by watching trades escape these volatility levels, up or down. Here's the Bloodhound template I have for my LRT lines. And this is showing when all the lines are running together, up or down. And this, again, can be set up in Bloodhound. You have access to these plots, or you can purchase a template from me that is already pre-set up and coded. Again, another example of bloodhound signals that respond as exits. So you were coming up to the level and you want to get out of a trade, you could exit it, or you could use it as an entry back into the channel. And they're very, very easy to set up in Bloodhound, or just coding yourself on the lines. And in NinjaTrader 8, you can also just right-click the chart, enter a trade, and then modify the trade by right-clicking your entry and add it to an indicator. Choose the JATSLRTLines indicator and choose upper 2 or lower 2 before price gets to it, before your order's filled. So you can like enter a limit order up here on top and then tell it to put it on upper 2. And so when price hits that upper 2, it will enter you in. And you can use that as an entry or exit on these exact locations, and they're dynamic. They will fill on that level, on the indicator level, instead of price. I think that's pretty cool. I really like that feature. Here is a strategy of a 1-minute crude chart, just showing you how easy it is to put these strategies together. And then that way you can discretionary trade using your market analyzer or momentum and or volatility levels to come in. It looks like this was a trending day instead of a volatility day, but you can use the volatility levels nonetheless to take advantage of that market condition. And again, more sweet spot trades, just showing how fast markets will run when they're inside the bands, especially this first level. They will just rotate up and down. When they get outside the level, that's when the price action will start running. So you can set these up according to your market and prior price history to help you see exactly when price is likely to start moving. And then have the indicator handy so that you know whether a reversion to the mean trade is occurring or if price is going to continue moving. Right here, we're still moving down. In fact, it probably closed on the low of the day. Boy, crude has just been crashing, hasn't it? And again, another example of a sweetheart trade. I've just scrunched it up so that you can see how excellent it was to get involved in a trade on that upper band. Anywhere on that upper band would have worked out pretty good for you there. And what it was like when it escaped, coming back in to the lines, escaping out, and you can see how difficult, sporadic it got until it crashed through. Reversion to the mean. Sorry for it being so small and scrunched up, but that's pretty much a very difficult trading session on some of these, but very lucrative if you can wait and time this at certain areas like that upper channel, save yourself all that effort, and then get in for some of these great moves. Is the link misspelled? Okay, thanks, Francis. Well, you just put a T in there. You can correct my typo. I'll have to get a secretary. That's funny. Yeah, just put a T in there and that'll work. Thank you, though, for pointing that out. Here is another sweetheart trade on a 1,000 tick chart. So this dynamically works on minute charts and tick charts. And you can see the same concept when it's inside your first level away from the main linear regression line, you're going to get rotational trades up and down. It's when it escapes out of that first level primarily, or the 4, that you're going to get the sweet spot trades. And you can learn to pick these out very easily, and know when and where to enter, when it's likely to start, just reverting back, and where it's likely to go, reversion to the mean or to the bottom channel back up. I mean, it's just like almost like having a roadmap a lot of the times. It's just fantastic to have something that balances dynamically on your chart for you. And again, another tick chart. This is showing that pinching of the 4 coming back into the 1, and how price respects that 4. I mean, I can show you this on so many different charts, daily charts, 60-minute, 15-minute tick charts. This is very, very dynamic across multiple time frames, and these levels are respected. They're fractal over and over and over. So wait for these reversals. Wait for that, it's like the impulse move out, that retracement, and it's often back to that 4. Pick up your trade at that location, and then wait for a candle back inside the 4 to get out, because that's where you're either going to revert to the mean, or it's going to consolidate back to the 4. This one consolidated all the way back to the main linear regression trend line before returning back in the direction of that trend. And just showing you, if you can learn to pick these out, how fortuitous it would be to enter at these locations for some great setups. And as long as it's closing outside these lines, you just want to stay with the trade. Again, another 1,000 tick chart. I think, this is, again, nat gas, and showing some really great opportunities that market can bring you. From time to time, there was a great big giant gap down, and then reversal back up to fill that gap. So really what you want to think when you're creating a trading strategy and trying to get some discipline in your trading, and this is from Steve Ward of High Performance Trading. I recommend that you look at his book if you're new to trading. I saw a few of you were new to the Ninja platform. You want to stay consistent with your execution, and recognize when your execution is inconsistent with your trading strategy, and try to minimize these and maximize the strategy trade, and not so much the non-strategy trades. You want to make this box the most or all, and not have anything in these other boxes. And so once you start focusing on just trading a strategy setup, and either making a rules-based or mechanical as much as you can with these platforms, you've got some great tools with NinjaTrader that should, help you with your performance, or at least be able to measure the validity of what you're doing, if it's working or not. You should be able to tell pretty quick. Here is the price table for the indicators and Bloodhound templates. I've got several different models. I am having a price increase starting January 1st. So if you were thinking about picking up an indicator or a template package, you might want to do so before the end of the year. There's still really good prices, there's, in my opinion, but I've got a monthly introductory price for the LRT lines indicator only. That does not include the Bloodhound templates. That just allows you to check out the indicator for a month. You do get access to the trade room for all of these. So we'll be able to come into the educational trade room when it is open and see how the indicators and templates work in the market. So all of these include the trade room, an annual subscription, and then Bloodhound templates with the indicator. This includes the annual indicator for the Bloodhound templates. And then if you don't have the Bloodhound or Blackbird license and would like to get that through my website, I can offer that to you also. This template package does not include licenses for Bloodhound or Blackbird. This one does. And don't forget, NinjaTrader is having a sale too for a lifetime license that is good through tomorrow. So you might want to check with Juanita about that if you were interested in upgrading or purchasing a NinjaTrader lifetime license. These do not include the NinjaTrader licenses or your data feeds also. So just the software, the add-ons for the platform. And again, the trade room open house is Friday, December 21st. You are welcome to come. Here's that email address. If you can read that, JATSLRTLines.com. My apologies, Benjamin, my typing was going pretty fast there. Check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. And like us on those social medias. We would appreciate it. And that did say thank you. I don't know what happened to the graphic, but that is it for the session today. I can't, and I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. There it is. Thank you so much, Juanita, for fixing that for me. I appreciate it. There are some questions in here, so let me see if I can, there's only a few, so I can probably get through these really, really quickly. Jim is asking, what is the main linear regression periodicity? Jim, that is proprietary, and so that I cannot give you. It's LinReg 1, that is the periodicity. So I found some really good levels, and we're going to keep those as proprietary. And someone is asking, how does it do with Forex? Well, it does the same with any price bar. I mean, price action trading is price action trading. So you would be able to trade this system with Forex as you would with futures. Stocks, I mean, you would need to balance whether you were trading a $500 stock differently than you were trading a $20 stock, so you already know how to balance that difference with the indicator levels. You certainly would not trade a tick chart, for instance, with a $500 stock. And Gene, the indicator does not work on 7. These are for NinjaTrader 8. And you will love the migration. We've migrated now to NinjaTrader 8, and really do think that that is the best platform for this indicator suite. What time is the room open? The room will be open tomorrow from 8 until 10. And so we will send out the email about 7:45 so you can get set up and chat, and then we'll get started about 8. And it's an educational room. I certainly do call trades as they respond to these indicator levels. I'll say that the price is coming in to the linear regression 1, and you've got momentum, or the linear regression higher time frame doing this, so we're looking for shorter or long, and here it is coming into an area. It's coming into the upper or the lower, and we do absolutely show how price is responding to our settings. I also use the NinjaTrader volume profile on my charts, as well as floor pivot. So there are some support resistance levels also on the charts that you're probably already familiar with. But the main focus tomorrow will be for you to be able to see how price responds in a live market environment to the indicator. So if there is a particular market or something that you would like to see, just let me know and I'll change to that. Jean, the cost of the $14.79 does not cover the license for NinjaTrader. No, ma'am. Your NinjaTrader license are separate. This is the add-on for the NinjaTrader platform. So you would need to get your NinjaTrader license separately. There is no monthly charge if you buy the annual licenses. So let me go back to that so I can explain that maybe a little better. This $14.95 at the complete package bundle includes the indicator as well as Bloodhound Template package. And you would need to buy separately licenses for NinjaTrader, Bloodhound, and Blackbird if you wanted that. Blackbird is a platform that allows you to enter trades and manage risk. Those would be separate purchases. My participation for my company, we're just an add-on provider, indicators and templates. You would need to get the licenses for the platform separately. If you get the annual fee, there's no other fees associated with it, and it does include access to the trade room. Yes, Darren, you can go to the website and see what is included on the packages. Yes, sir, you sure can. The 8 o'clock time is Central. That's a good question, Charles. 8 a.m. Central. So, Jean, I provide Bloodhound templates. I have various different Bloodhound templates that are shown on my website. You may want to scroll through that. I have numerous screenshot examples, and you'll be able to see some of the templates in the open house tomorrow also. The annual fee, Bloodhound templates and upgrades. The way that Bloodhound works, Darren, is yes, if you buy a license for Bloodhound, anytime they upgrade it, if you purchase their maintenance, that's also separate. I think they give you maintenance for 1 year included with the initial license purchase, and then you can purchase a separate small maintenance fee from Bloodhound Shark Indicators. So that would be up to you whether you choose to upgrade or not. My package is just the software. I give you an add-on for NinjaTrader and Bloodhound. I've coded some Bloodhound templates already for you if you're new to Bloodhound. They're black box indicators. I also am going to have the walk forward test starting in January that I'll be trading in the trade room. So I'll be executing trades on a walk forward test of 2 strategies. And once that walk forward test is completed, the way I use my Bloodhound templates, anything that I create during the year is included in your package. So I don't charge you extra every time that I come out with a product. You know, I don't say here for another $300, you can have that. I just throw it in the package bundle. That's the way I've always done it. The indicator is not included in the package. That's separate. The $479 is a yearly charge, so that's one-time charge, and you would get it all year. Yes, sir, that would break down to $40 a month. Yep. Yes, sir. My win-loss ratio, for the walk forward test, it starts in January, so you can watch that live. I don't disclose the sample performance. We're not allowed to do that. But I will have a walk forward test where the performance metrics will be a live walk forward test. Going forward in January 19, we'll start it. And that, you know, walk forward, I don't know if y'all understand that. You have a sampling of data that you've already run your testing on, and then you get to walk forward it and continue optimizing your filters if you want to, or tweaking it until a certain point, and then you can either re-back test everything until you're satisfied with it before you release it. So this testing period starting in January will be a live walk forward test. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your time, and hope that you will come out to the room tomorrow, and we'll answer more of these questions, and hope to see you then.